Thank you. In Saudi Arabia tonight. Meanwhile, the weight of what's now being described as a Watergate-sized scandal continues to bear down on the White House. We are learning the House Intelligence Committee has asked to interview former Trump campaign staffer Michael Caputo. Now, Caputo has ties to Russia, and he worked there for a number of years. We want to bring in Democratic Congressman Mike Quigley. He's on the House Intelligence Committee. He's joining us now. Congressman, thanks for being with us. I know your committee is asked to see special documents from Caputo. Why has he become part of your committee's investigation?
Well, I'll say that there's a long list of who's on our witness list. I mean, the good news is the investigation on the House side is back on track. Tuesday, Director Brennan will be testifying before us. Clearly, those hearings are beginning again. The reference you are to a particular individual, there are a lot of others. And we're preparing those deposition-like briefings very, very soon. At the same time, we continue to review documents on a weekly basis. So I guess the good news is that the investigation's back on track while we hear all these press release statements coming out about particular witnesses. We're going to move forward as a whole.
Now, a source close to Jim Acosta, or close to this investigation, tells Jim Acosta Caputo wants to clear his name in public testimony. Is the committee open to that?
Look, there have been any number of people who are involved in this investigation who have said that they're willing to come forward and clear their name. Some have asked for immunity. We have heard that General Flynn has asked for immunity. It is way too soon to think about something like that. We have a companion Justice Department investigation, a Senate investigation taking place at the same time. We have to work in concert with both of them, as well as a DOD investigation of General Flynn, apparently. So we're open to open and closed hearings. In my mind, the more open this investigatory process is, the better it is. The American public has a right to know what took place. But under each circumstances, it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, we can't have confidential, top-secret information revealed.
Right. We know that the Tuesday hearing, as far as my understanding, based on what's on your website, on the House Intelligence Committee website, is that it's going to be part open, part closed. You talked about Jim Brennan coming on. What do you want to ask him?
The big question will be, when did the intelligence community find out exactly what the Russians were doing, particularly hacking, and how did they react? How quickly and effectively did they respond? Another series of questions would obviously be, what are the Russians' goals? What are their tactics? Where are they taking these tactics on across the world? What is their overall plan there and here in the United States?
Now, just this weekend, we learned that President Trump apparently bragged to the Russians about firing former FBI Director James Comey, that Comey believed the president was trying to influence him. What's your reaction to this new reporting?
What's disturbing about all this is ever since the investigation began, I felt like the White House was attempting to distract and deflect and delay the investigation. The revelations that have taken place in the last month are far more disturbing. They approach obstruction, firing the person who's investigating you, threatening them with tweets, thinly veiled threats about having tapes, and hearing about the possibility of telling the FBI director not to investigate General Flynn. We have crossed a whole other river here, the Rubicon, to the possibility, the very real possibility, that the White House has obstructed this investigation.
So if that is your view, impeachment proceedings would start in the House. Do you think it's too soon to go there?
I don't even think in those terms. I think what the American public deserve is a thoughtful investigation on a bipartisan basis, a bicameral basis, and work in companionship with the new special investigator in this issue. Working together, following the facts wherever they take us, and not jumping to conclusions, letting this come to us. It is way, way too premature to talk about impeachment. We have to find out exactly what took place. It doesn't help people, particularly who are undecided about how this is going to play out to think that we have already prejudged what's going to take place.
Okay, so Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein addressed both the House and the Senate this week. Afterwards, there did seem to be a disagreement among lawmakers over whether this had become a criminal investigation. Explain to us how this is different now from when Comey announced in March that the FBI was investigating possible collusion and whether there was a crime committed. Was that not an indication of a criminal investigation at that time?
I think what Director Comey said in the open investigation was that this was a counterintelligence investigation, right? A counterterrorism investigation that would follow any possible criminal violation as well. So I don't think that's changed. Clearly, they're investigating several issues here where it takes them, they don't share with us, clearly. So I don't think anything's changed in that vein. I think the investigation continues on both sides.
Okay. So fired FBI Director James Comey, we have learned, is going to testify publicly before the Senate Intel Committee sometime after Memorial Day. Even though that's not your committee, what's the one thing you hope to learn from him now that he's no longer inside the FBI?
Well, I hope he brings this memorandum that we understand that he wrote. I'd like to ask him why he felt it was necessary to take copious notes, if indeed he did, as soon as he left the President of the United States. Why did he feel that he should be compelled to do something like that? And did, in fact, the President of the United States ask him not to investigate General Flynn or to prosecute him? Those are obvious questions. I have no idea where Mr. Comey will go with his testimony before the Senate, though.
Do you think he'll be more candid now that he's not leading the investigation, or less candid because of the special prosecutor's investigation?
You know, I guess what I've learned about Director Comey is that he's going to be as forthcoming as he thinks he possibly can. He clearly still won't reveal anything that's classified, but in terms of what he feels like he can let us know, I think he will, and I think it'll be must-see TV.
All right, Congressman Mike Quigley, thank you for joining us. As the Russia investigation grows, just how loyal is the president's base? Joining me next, the man who wrote a book